Hello everybody, welcome along to our stream today then. So, get that on. There we go, it's along with me. Right, welcome along everybody. Hello, and here we are today in the Airbus A321 to Ivalo at Ivalo Airport. Our flight today is going to take us down to Helsinki. This is a flight I've done in real life, so hopefully that link brings a little bit more context, as I paid attention quite closely, making sure we get this thing realistic. So realistic, accurate, that's what I was looking for, accurate. I think it should be. So please, if you're joining us, hop in to the game. I'm just sorting out stuff. But if you're joining us, please do come say hello. I'd love to have someone joining us. That's always good fun. So feel free to fly along if you want to join us. If you're busy, no worries. Say hello in the chat. But it's quite a stow. We're in the control tower currently. That's where this view is. It's not the best view, is it? We shoot down here. So the terminal at Ivalo Airport this is some extra scenery I downloaded, but it's pretty cool. I quite like it. It's a Skate 2 entrance, so as a passenger you walk out to the aircraft. You see the snow effects being used by the sand scenery. It's quite good. I'm not sure why the doors have closed. I've got them selected to open. No, there we go. That needs to be open. Door opens up, and we're greeted by the crew on board this Airbus A321 aircraft. So if we hop into the flight deck then, welcome along. So here in the Airbus A321 flight deck, I've powered up the aircraft and begun shoving in information into the init page, although not completed the flight plan control system or any of the routing information, so we are going to have to do that now. It shouldn't take 2 seconds. I'll point out at Ivalo Airport currently there is no pushback truck system, so the pushback has to be done by us, and not even that pushing back, we're just going to start up the engine. So what I'll do quickly now, whilst we're in this sort of waiting bit, I'll leave the beacon light on, fire up the APU, and we'll use that for today's flight. So from EF5E we're departing on the, let's have a look over to the left there, departing runway 04, Sotit 1 Charlie departure, that's the one. From Sotit we go direct to Renvi. Next waypoint. It's a pretty short route, this one. It'll only take us about an hour and a half, so I'm being pretty quick with this programming because it's pretty simple. From Renvi we take the Yankee 86 airway. Now this airway includes loads of waypoints that take us right the way down to Helsinki. So we then go to Lucep and we take the Lucep 3 mic into ILS runway 15. No violence. Flight plan has been inserted, so now the flight plan's been inserted, we're going to begin the... Joe's not flying along? No, he's not. I haven't heard any word of him all day. I don't know what he's up to. Right, AP is running. We turn on the AP bleed and get some air conditioning around the aircraft as we begin our performance calculation for today's flight. And in the meantime, as beginning our performance calculation, the truck and everything are going to drive away. And get going in that. If you just stand by with me 1 second actually. Good, sorry. And the stairs and everything drive away at this point, and the doors will close. Yeah, the doors closing there. Everything driving away. It's going to be a flat 2 TOGA departure today. Wait, without TOGA, the V1 was low, but then, yeah, that's fine. So, performance-wise, 141, 141, 145, that's 2 slash up 0.2. We've got a long backtrack down today's runway, just due to the nature of the distance we have to depart from today and the length and the area of the runway we're choosing and everything. It's just a bit longer than normal. You see all the trucks have disappeared. There we go. So yeah, taxi out today. We're going to taxi out. We're going to make a left-hand turn out on this taxiway here, and we go left all the way down to the end, spin it around, and depart out off the runway 04. So inside the aircraft then, the electrical power system goes off, the external power, sorry. and we begin our startup procedure, because as I said we're on stand, so we'll begin our startup procedure. So if you just bear with me as I turn on track IR, let's hope this thing works. Hey, look at that, that's pretty cool. Right, so ignition start, switch, everything goes quiet. Engine number 2, start. Select flight plan on the right hand side. There we go. The engine's spooling up, and as it does so, what will happen is we'll get the Finnair cabin announcements, why don't we? Let me find them on my computer. This is actually quite a pain to find them. That's just whilst the engine's spooling up. So in the real thing at Ivalo, because it's so remote, almost 400 miles inside the Arctic Circle, they don't have a what's its system, they don't have a pushback toggle or anything like that. Everything has to be done manually, so I say that's why we're starting it up now, that's why all this is being done. That's just how it goes. Right, let's see if we can get the announcement then. So, welcome aboard announcement.
Hyvää päivää, hyvät matkustajat, ja tervetuloa Finnair OneWorld-lennolle.
Engine 1 started.
Pyydämme teitä sijoittamaan käsimatkatavaranne matkatavarahyllyyn.
There you go, the hydraulics warning.
Myös edessä olevan istuimen alle.
We can watch engine 1 start whilst we get the anti-ice, you are right. We'll wait for both engines to start and then we'll shove on the anti-ice, you're right. Thanks for reminding me, Roma, I would have actually forgot about this. Anti-ice now? You reckon now?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard this Finnair OneWorld flight. Please stow your hand luggage in the overhead lockers. Your hand luggage can also be placed under the seat in front of you. Thank you.
Right, as the engines start, then we'll go on to the safety briefing, shall we?
Welcome on board Finnair. Before departure, we would like to focus on safety. Please follow this video closely, as we will be demonstrating the safety features of our aircraft.
Right, both engines started, normal selected, on the overhead, both APU and APB can go off, and the TCAS needs to go on now as we're now active. Weather predicted wind shear, wind and turb, auto scan go on. We can begin taxi and do everything else on the move. The one thing we can't do is the flight control check, so we'll just go full right, full left, full up, and full down. Flight control check is positive, and as Roma said, we'll whack on our anti-ice. The current temperature outside is 1 degree actually, a bit warmer than I thought it was.
Your safety belt must be fastened during takeoff, landing, and at all times during the flight.
Trim's been set to up 0.2. We'll begin our left-hand turn off stand. So parking brake released. The Toliss does this weird sort of jumpy thing, so here we go. Hard left then. Bit of throttle. Full left on the tiller, and we just literally, this is what they did, they span it right round. The jet blast does seem to wash over the terminal, but hopefully everyone's out of the way at that point. I hope you can hear the announcement. I think it's quite a good announcement.
This also applies to electronic signals. Your cabin crew has been trained to ensure your safety.
Okay, fantastic. Then we'll drop off the turn and head away. So the auto brake goes to max. And we're taxiing away from the terminal out of Ivalo. Fantastic. Away we go. And the taxi light can go on at this point, and the turn off light. I'll make a quick call. Yeah, we are, aren't we? Make a quick call on Unicom. Unicom Finnair 1337. We're departing from Ivalo to Helsinki today. We're entering runway 0422, backtrack runway 04 for departure. And SOTIT 1 Charlie departure. Ivalo traffic, Finnair 1337.
This aircraft has 8 emergency exits, which are all marked with green and white exits.
Now sadly we have to go left down this massive backtrack. Normally the right one is much shorter, but left for today we've got a long backtrack due to the winds, I guess. But luckily down the runway we can do 30 miles rather than 20. So hold the throttle where it is at 30% or so, and just let the speed build up, because there's no real problem with going too quick. So we'll arm the spoilers as we go down the runway. Make sure that TCAS is set properly, and we'll set flap 2. That goes to flap.
It is also important to leave all hand luggage in the safety features of this aircraft may also be found in the safety part located in the seat.
Flaps set.
Please review the important information on the safety card before.
I think we're good, aren't we? We need to turn on the strobe lights, that's right, as we enter the runway.
If you have any questions, please ask your cabin crew. Thank you for choosing Finnair.
Oh, lovely in the ice, isn't it? It's good fun flying in the ice, Arctic sort of area. It's fun. Takeoff config is confirmed normal. The safety announcement has finished on the aircraft, so we'll get the cabin crew in their seats. Cabin crew, take your seats for takeoff, please. There we go. They make their way over to the seats. We'll get the lights and everything on as we get a little bit further. Because it doesn't really matter today. Well, actually, we'll turn them on now. Normally what I tend to do is just so we line up on the runway, turn them on, but because it's daylight, you can't really see them anyway, so we might as well do it now. Good day, Ivalo traffic, this is British 803. Immediately inform you we shall be taking off. That's exactly it, isn't it? That's what I should say. This is, yeah, we are taking off. Okay. Drop off the power then. And apply a bit of braking. 35, that's alright. Bit quick down the runway, that's well, there's no speed limit on the runway, so you can pretty much do what you want, as long as you're able to stop without damaging the aircraft, which in our case we don't want to overheat the brakes as we come to the stop. Been done before. Okay, brilliant. See, that's why you have to be really careful with the wheels. 50 degrees already on those brakes, and yet, you know, we've barely done anything. Right, hard left, right round the corner, and line up on the runway. So I've misjudged that slightly from the flight deck, from the wing view there. We'll go back in flight deck and line us up. I'm happy the aircraft is ready for departure. The anti-ice is set. Okay, aircraft ready for departure. Confirmed, let's get some toga, here we go. 50% throttle, confirmed engines, nice. Toga. So, stick half forward. My hands remain on the throttle until the speed builds to a safe speed. So, man toga, SRS, runway, auto thrust is blue. 100 knots, stick neutral. Hands still on the throttle there. V1 and rotate at the same speed, 141. V1 and rotate. Hands off the throttle at the same time. Rotate 10 degrees, hold it there. Positive rate, gear up. And now we follow the flight directors. Pop this out, we can have a look in the right hand view. There's the Ivalo airport going by. Continue the picture of the nose up. Looks not too bad. Bit of left and right there, just confirm I've got positive movement. Looks like we're crawling out there if you're we're on the flyby mode. Right, dropping the nose as we go to climb thrust. Sorry, remember, was our auto throttle green? I'm pretty sure it was normally blue, isn't it? That's the only way I paused for a minute. I'll have a look at that. No, the auto throttle was blue at that point. You're confirming at that point what your current state is, and for us that was auto thrust blue. Right, as much as it's nice looking out at the snow and everything, we are going to have to hop into the flight deck for a minute and sort out some stuff. Oh, poor flying man, locking it left and right. Right, onto the overhead. We're just going to turn off the nose lights and the anti-flight. And now let's catch up with the chat then. Sorry. Spoilers. You need your help setting up an around the world tour or a hub tour for a certain airline. Ah, okay. Well, what are you considering? What are you looking at for that? Oh, we need to go right now. Got it right. That looks nice and windy, probably. So it's max 180 knots around this right-hand turn. And then it max 150 on the next turn, so that's why the flaps are staying down. at 180 knots, we still have to have flap 2. At the 210 knots we're now accelerating to, we can only need flap 1. So I'll definitely reduce to flap 1. Head off the wings, and we'll go flap 1 there. Bit of bumpiness there, actually. I know the track IR probably makes it look much more bumpier than it actually is, but it is a little bit bumpy. Just going left slightly there. I think we overshot the turn. Making that next right-hand turn. The QNH is flashing at me because what it's telling me is that sorry if I drag this to the right side. What it's telling me on this QNH thing is it's telling me I need to set standard pressure. I've still got it set at obviously 6,000 standard pressure. That's a Gatwick, not out of Ivalo. It's 7,000, so we can hold off for a minute. And around the world tour, legs hopping around different countries yet. But hub tour will be sometime still for Southwest, the hubs are in more countries. Oh yeah, okay. So the around the world tour, that's like what we did on this channel. There you go, the flaps are automatically retracted, so we'll retract the slats as well now. Bring it all in, clean up the aircraft. And on our right hand side you'll see Ivalo Airport as we go by it again. Fantastic. Clean aircraft, pitch the nose up slightly. And 7,500, so we'll engage the autopilot. And at 7,500, the next couple of stuff is a straight line, so the seatbelt signs can go off. The engine anti-ice switches, hold on, leave them on. And you want to check down here. There's still ice present, so we'll leave them on. It'll say no ice detect, and that's when you can turn them off. Landing lights off as well, as we're at this altitude where we don't need them anymore. Make sure the TCAS is on, and the weather radar is just set tilted up slightly so that anything we're about to climb into, you can see. Lovely. Very nice. Well, we're airborne. The seatbelt signs go off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated.
Sorry, there you go, that's the view. Nice nose view over the front of the aircraft. At least it's going well this time. We're climbing out nicely there. Ice is detected, so we'll leave it on. It's obviously quite cold up there currently. -5 on the actual aircraft, -14 actually, because of the friction, the temperature increases dramatically. So it's only actually -5. I love flying Finnair, I think it's lovely. Grey seats and everything else, exactly how it is. The real thing. Deafening ourselves outside the flight deck. Looks lovely. That was loud. Very loud. Right, well. Slight left turn on our flight, that's about it. And we're nicely on the departure, climbing to our altitude of our choice. The only thing out, there's no speed restrictions, altitude restrictions out of Ivalo, just speed. climbing fairly steadily. You can see our routing right down south to Helsinki at the bottom there. So we're going the full length of Finland today. It will remain snowy for the entire duration of the flight down all the way there. That's sadly how the SAM system I have, it's called SAM Seasons Weather, it's Freetown. It provides snow when activated on the ground. The airport scenery I had for that one was compatible with it, so that's why we had the cool sort of snow on the runway and factories and things. That was pretty cool. But it can't be deactivated, if that makes sense. So once you've enabled it, you have to do a full scenery reload to disable it. You go down here, you go up here. SAM problems, you have to disable, and that takes quite a lot to do that. So I often think it's a bit of a pain to do that, and it's not worth it. So I think it'll be snowy all the way down. When I did this in real life a couple of weeks ago, it was snowy in Helsinki. The scenery I've got, the payware scenery available for Helsinki by Vatsim, means that it's not snowy there. So you'll see a sort of transition between snow to not snow, which could be realistic, as if the ground services are really good at Helsinki and they're keeping all the snow off the tarmac. That That could be feasible and real, but they often don't. So Plays a bit loud. Can't understand you. No worries. I'll whack that down a little bit then. Stand by with me. That's probably a little bit better there. I have my headphones quite quiet. I imagine it's a little bit louder then. In the real thing. That's probably a bit better for you. Sorry about that. Better. Yeah, cool. I was just saying how the scenery for Vatsim is sort of transition between snowy and non-snowy. So we'll just don't be alarmed when you see that. It's not suddenly a glitch or whatever. Yeah, there is one there. I know that. So now we've taken the, now on this flight we're returning our A321 that we took up to Ivalo. We're returning it back, and then of course once we've returned it, we'll take the A350 from Helsinki to Heathrow maybe, and then from Heathrow we'll take the Concorde. So they're the next two streams probably. Can't wait to get back in Concorde. It's been a while, and as much as I love these, the A321, I think my favourite plane on simulator is Concorde, but then second favourite, definitely the Finnair Livery A321. I think it looks lovely with the IAE engines. It's a really nice looking plane. The actual reason they chose the IAE engines, they perform better in the cold environment that these aircraft will be operating in for most of their lifetime. So yeah, that's the reason they have the cold ones. Super signs off. Sledge cruising. We're cruising pretty much. Still in our climb. We're climbing at what, 1,700 feet per minute. So it's a pretty sedate climb. It's not, as a passenger, you wouldn't particularly notice it. You'd only notice the ground getting further and further away, really. What's the current time in the simulator? Sorry, we should have departed at 11:25 local time. Ah, yes, yeah. 11:25. I was expecting an 11:50 departure, so we're a long way ahead. We departed way ahead of schedule. Way ahead. Okay. There you go. That's what we were looking for. Anti-ice. Ice not detected. Brilliant. Anti-ice goes off. Never flown Finnair. Yeah, any good? Yeah, lovely. I really recommend it. Really lovely cabin crew, lovely seats. There's quite a lot of leg room and quite a bit of space between the chairs. I think they were the standard seating most airlines have, but somehow it's a bit nicer. No, yeah, really good quality though. Pilot made a lovely landing. That's really nice. Really nice indeed. Really good. I was really impressed by them. I think they're lovely. Definitely try them out if you head up to Finland. I'm not sure they fly many other places outside of there. Perhaps the Finnair means that they only fly in Finland. I don't know. St. Petersburg control is online, and actually, what is it? Pulkovo is online, but sadly, no ATC for Finland. There's only one aircraft currently in Finland, and that's me. Ah, sad. Well, we can have a look at EFH and see what the Helsinki sort of traffic is like. So there are currently 4 arrivals scheduled. Oh, that's a long flight. Guy in Portugal on his way. Do quite a bit of long hauls. They do, don't they? Yeah, yeah. They're doing a brand new re-update to their current seating. So currently, first class, business class, and everything like that. The sort of colour scheme of everything is a grey. They're updating all of that, changing it all, pretty much, changing it all, and making it grey. Sorry, blue instead. Which, seeing as they are blue, a blue airline, you know, with a blue colour scheme and everything, seems to make a bit of sense to me. But it looks lovely. I think it's costing quite a lot. It's only on their Airbus A350s, sadly. Be nice if it was on the full thing. It is only on the A350s. So that's a bit of a shell. That's a bit of a shame. But then, you know, I think it'll be lovely. I'm really looking forward to it. I think be cool to see how it all pans out and stuff. But I know they're preparing to make a big switch. As I kind of got unlucky here. Normally the last time I flew this flight there was some ATC online, but sadly now we've got Scottish online. Of course they don't cover us, but do you know what I mean? We've got St. Petersburg control, which is right next to our airspace. It goes right down the side, so that's close. If Swedish logs on, that's like we're surrounded. Does that make sense? Yeah, we haven't got anywhere that everywhere's controlled but us, but that's pretty much it. Because Warsaw's online. Do you remember when we flew to Warsaw Airport? Nice place. I taxied the wrong way. I think I didn't. Annoyed the controller a little bit. I think by taxiing the wrong way. There's an event going on. Definitely. Massive event from where's that? What's that place? Istanbul. Yeah, from Istanbul to Budapest. Massive, and there's loads of people flying in that one. Whoa. They do quite a bit of long haul their destinations. Yeah. All the A350-900s that they've got will be re-schemed into the nice new sort of looking what's its sort of colour, which is, you know, as I was saying, I think it'll look really cool, but it's going to cost them a lot. So I don't know. It's a lovely airline though, and those A350s are beautiful, really really nice. Yeah, they look super cool. I just think the livery on Finnair is lovely. If I turn down the simulator noise to almost nothing, so it's not just my voice, you can see, look, there's our little contrail going along the sky. You can just about see us. There we are. Anyway, you can see that livery. I think it looks lovely. I really think it looks lovely. Very nice, very nice. Oh, now interesting. This is a good opportunity to demonstrate. So, downloaded Reshade quite a few streams ago now, probably about 30 streams ago. It was a long time ago. But you really notice the difference when you're flying something like this. So if we turn it off, look at the grey colour. Then we turn it on, bam, and the blue. Because we're so far up inside the Arctic Circle, the sky is really blue. Which is pretty cool. We'll get back inside. It's warm inside. I'm having a look on Sky Map thingy, our thing. We've been airborne for 16 minutes now. 420 miles to go. We're in Airbus A321. Coming from Ivalo to Helsinki. We're doing 464 knots. A little bit slower than that. Yeah. The A321 is actually very slow. The other day I was flying and someone took off from Rovemni, which is an airport sort of south. We're going to head over right. Renvi is right on top of Rovemni. So we're going to head right on top across the sort of airport that I'm talking about. But anyway, the Rovemni, he took off from it, and he was in an Airbus A320 Neo, and I was in this A321 CEO, and he actually overtook me. Yeah, after about what, I don't know, a bit of time, he went by me. He was 2,000 feet above me, so below me, and he went by me because I was going a bit slow. It's not a very fast plane. That's what I'm trying to say. It's lovely, and it carries way more people than the A321, the A320 Neo, but it's not very quick. Not very quick at all. But yeah, I think we should head back to Microsoft Flight Simulator at some point. I'm looking on here, and you can get scenery for nice Ivalo, which I would be keen to fly out of, because the seasons effect in Microsoft Flight Simulator is quite good. So I'd expect something good from their scenery, which there seems to be. Looks pretty good. And I'd like to, if I'm honest, hop back inside the... I'd love to hop back inside the... what's it called? What's it called? Airbus A321, Airbus A320 Neo, because I think that'd be really cool to get back in there. It's been a long time. It does have a long range. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, actually? Flying this compared to flying the 757, I really prefer flying the Airbus A321. I know it seems silly, but I think flying the Airbus A321, the sort of handling and everything, because it's a bit Airbus, you know, it's just nicer. Much less counter input. I don't know if it's just my bad flying, but I find that flying the Airbus flying the Airbus A321, moving the sort of stick to the right, I don't then have to make a massive input back to the left, sort of balance out the turns, so that you don't suddenly get a massive lurch one way and then back the other way. I find I don't really have to do that in the Airbus A321, whereas in the 7.5 I had to sort of counteract it a bit. I don't know how you felt about it. I thought I did too. There's quite a lot of roll it to the right, then roll it back to the left to cancel out that movement, whereas in this, you roll it to the right, neutral stick, it holds it, and then you just, and it goes back. I just think there's a bit less. It doesn't wobble as much, whereas that one really wobbles. It's a wobbly plane. Wobbles a bit. But Finnair used to have the 7.5s, and so we'll fly them, not necessarily Finnair, but we'll fly again. But maybe in the Caribbean, where there's less lag. There was a bit of a laggy stream. I apologise about that. I wasn't really expecting that, but it just seemed to be laggy. We're leveling off at 330. It's tempting. We're very slow at this altitude. I think we'll make a step altitude at Renvi to slightly higher. The real thing flies at 370 on its one. 370 at Renvi. Step above max flight level. What do you mean maximum flight level? Oh, okay. Well, let's change this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change that there. This. Renvi. Step out. 370 at Renvi. That's the one. Step above maximum flight level. What, flight level 370? Step out from 370. Why is it from 370? Flight level 330. Step bolts. Bizarre. Huh. Well, I guess we just won't step out then, will we? We just, 370. Manage. No, that's very slow. Open, please. Let's get right up there. Burn the fuel. Climb. Shouldn't make much of a difference. We had 30 minutes extra of fuel. Burning is much more work for the pilot. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It really is. But you have to work very hard. Which is good, you know. Pilots should be tested, you know, worked hard. But then there's also, like, you know, the Airbus is just nice to fly. Which the Boeings apparently just aren't. I'm making good time, actually. Just under an hour. That's impressive, actually. It could be a short stream. Wasn't expecting that. Ugh. 3.2 tons of fuel on landing. That's plenty. Below 1 ton, and you have to divert pilots. That's the sort of like below a ton. That's a mayday call. You need to land like immediately. Is how it works. So that time we glided our Qatar Episode 50 a long way was a little bit unrealistic. It wouldn't probably glide that far. I don't know why that happened still. I think it was because I, on Simbrief, put in the Airbus A350 900 when we were flying this 1000. But because the add-on that makes the 1000, I didn't think it affected fuel and fuel consumption. Obviously it must do. That's what I thought the issue was. Turns out, it doesn't affect fuel consumption, so you still select the 900. But what it does affect, it's quite interesting, the reason we ran out of fuel was because when I, go on to the nose, what was it? Oh, contingency fuel? What is it? Continuity fuel? Con fuel? On Simbrief, you can select sort of that con fuel above your extra fuel. I'd set that to none. So, of course, the con fuel is sort of, I think it's like the community fuel. It's like, that's basically how it fuels plan. So if you select none, it's going to put in the bare minimum, not disregarding your weighting. Now that day, because we were in the 1000, we were heavier than the 900 profiles suggest you to be. So suddenly, we were running out of fuel. So that's why we ran out of fuel. I thought I'd clear the air on that one, because we haven't really spoken about it. But that's why we ran out of fuel. So, yeah, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. It would not be preferable. Sorry guys, I'm sorry about flicking the view. I'm trying to find, I have a button set to the first officer's view. I don't know which one it is. Maybe I don't. Oh, yes, there we go. I know I do. Because sometimes it's cool to be in the first officer's view, I don't know. Lots you fly with your right hand. This is the sticks on the right hand side in the first officer's view, so you should really fly on the first officer, but we fly with my left hand, so we fly on the left. Oh, there we go, they're making that turn onto that Yankee Airway, so if you see on the map, you see we're now making that turn onto this line, this white line heading south. The Yankee 86. Oh wait, what did we put into our flight plan? The Yankee 86 Airway. So there we go. That's that line. And you see that Yankee 86 takes us literally directly south, straight down a line. There's two of them, one for going north, one for going south, and that is how you traverse Finland. That's how the Finnish system works. If you're wanting to go north, you go on the more westernly one. If you wanted to go south, you go on the more easterly one. And anywhere from Rovaniemi, which is there, you head south there. There's an airport it starts from there, you go from there. Ivalo, you go from there. If you're going really north from Tromsø, you often fly this waypoint, direct Renvi, and when you hit Renvi, you then enter that airway, enter via Renvi. The official entering point is Renvi. It seems to be they join at Gitev for this Katala airport, but we don't use that one. That's not where we join. Renvi is the official joining point for these guys if you're flying on the southern one, so the more easternly run. We don't so much have that in the UK. There's a bit of one, but it's quite impressive. That's how Finland works. If you're from Helsinki, you go there. If you're one of these airports on the west and you want to go to Ivalo, say, and you're over here, you go across, up, and then across. That's how they keep the airways clear and free in movement. You can see Norway's much more chaotic. England's even more chaotic. And Europe's pretty crazy, but Finland have got it sorted with these ones. Russia's pretty mad too. There's one sort of going everywhere. It's a bit crazy. And then the US, super complicated here. Super complex, but there's all these entry points, and then from there you can split to wherever you want. And you go through here, however crazy route you want to take. And then there's a single entry point, exit point, and you're in. And it's all pretty symmetrical and everything. Moving down the country, you see there's these straight lines taking you across to these individual waypoints, and these waypoints are exit and entry points for all this different stuff. It's a bit less sort of organised than I think most places, but you know, sorry, a bit more organised than most of Europe. But it's pretty. You see, this is why whenever you sort of get on SimBrief and you're like, well, why am I taking that route? You're probably taking that route because the sort of routing that you take for that country means taking that route. So here in Finland, we have to take this one. I thought it was weird at first because I was like, well, hold on, why am I going across when I could just go sort of straight down? Surely that's a bit easier, but actually, no, it's not, because you've got to enter the airway, enter the important airways, and yeah, that's why our route today takes us across and then down south. So we might as well quickly check out the charts, I suppose, for EFHK, because we have to start descending soon. Right, EFHK. Oh, well, let's search that again and have a look at the sort of information. 179er. These frequencies, if you were flying in real life and you didn't have vPilot to just display them for you, would be vital. Not luckily, because I was going to say luckily there, but no. Length in Xplane might differ from real length. I like they put that there. I like that's the length in Xplane. So 1.5 today we have 9,493 feet asphalt. Absolute plenty. Plenty. That's fine. It's a Cat 1. Okay, that's fine. So time, what is that, 12:1650. So at 5 o'clock the winds were looking like this. That should be alright for us then. So we'll get the airport charts. So let me just pop up the charts and then we'll talk through our arrival and approach and everything, as and how we're needed. So Lucep 3 mic, there is back. Brilliant. Right, so starting from the Lucep 3 mic. So if I pop open the FMC so we can see this, I'll drag it behind the stuff. You see we've just leveled off our cruise altitude there, and the mac's a little bit higher than it would have been. Does Vatsim use the real frequencies? Yes, yep, full real frequencies. It does. Yeah, full real. Anyway, okay, so looking at there, so we need to get Lucep. So Lucep. Ours says flight level 120. Okay. These, see the line is underneath the flight level 100, indicating flight level 100 or above, not below. Flight level 100 is the minimum at that waypoint. At Nupun, it's maximum 250 knots. For us, Nupun is still a long way from the airport, so the aircraft will slow to 250, but by that point we're decelerating through 10,000, so it doesn't really make a difference. Of course, we will do it because it's in the charts, so you have to. 902 and 950, there's no altitude constraints, only that you have to don't go anything more than 250 knots because these are quite tight turns. Might be able to make. Nope. So now at Nahop we need to be 2,000 or above again, but 220 knots manual. Obviously at Nahop they've got a tight turn next onto the ILS if you're going. So for us from this point there's a lot of turns to establish on the ILS for this place. It's a bit of crazy process. So Nahop we're 4,600, and then to establish on the ILS we then get to Elkin. At Elkin, going here, 2,000, and 8.7 miles away. So at this point, 8.7 miles away will be slow. So it says 150 will be 160, just a little bit quicker than that, because I don't want to get in, make any mistakes about that. I don't want to stall accidentally. And then we're 2,000 again, and that's the start of the descent on the ILS, and that's 5.8 miles away. A steady 3-degree descent as normal. Brilliant. So ILS, once landed, low auto brake for our landing today. Don't want to necessarily slam on the brakes. We don't really need to. Looking to touch down just before the crossover of the runway, so anywhere between the start here and before the crossover. Touch down about there. Roll right down. Full reverse thrust, of course, will be activated at the Yankee Hotel vacate. Yankee Foxtrot is a little bit too early for this aircraft, I found in the past, so we'll vacate Yankee Hotel. From Yankee Hotel, we'll taxi up Yankee, left at this Yankee 3, which you need the parking charts to be able to see this. Left at this place, so that is Alpha Charlie, left Alpha Charlie, down Alpha Charlie, or Alpha Charlie, Alpha Victor, stand 3-4. Center, not Alpha. What's the decision height? Ah, yeah, forgot to look at that. Well done, thank you for reminding me. So, ILS, we're not looking at the localizer. That's not us. ILS decision altitude is 363. Decision height 200. We type in 363 into our decision height, so we can actually shove that in the approach phase. We type in 363 because the altitude is the indicated altitude on our aircraft. The height is from the ground, so there's a 163 foot difference, indicating the airport is 163 foot high. If we have a look at the actual airport, we know it is 179 foot. That is total 179 foot. So it was generalization. Our runway is 163, so therefore the ILS is 163 higher than the actual height. So if we were landing in the sea, say, we would put in 200. But on the chart, the decision altitude and height would be the exact same because the airport is at sea level. In real life, no airport's at sea level, so this one is 163 foot high. So we put in 363 because it's 163 foot higher than the height. So at 200 feet above the ground, we'll hear the minimums cool out. But our sea level height is 363. It's an odd thing, but that is how it works. So after go around, I've noticed it's looking a little bit weird on ours. Go around rise. Once we go around, scroll down. That is not right. I tell you that's not right. We go to DME 2.3 from the hotel, and we then make a left turn, course 080. Left 080. I don't know why it's then going to manual. This is rubbish. Get rid of this. That's not where we're going. We go left 080 at 2000 indefinitely until vectored by CC. So in our case, we'll then just turn from 080 after about 5 miles or so. We'll then make the turn left, heading north, and we'll make our way back towards Helsinki and have another go. It's more likely than normal we might have a go around because, of course, the ice on the runway could be a problem. In the scenery, there's no ice though, so hopefully it should just be a straight case of we land, vacate at the correct exit of Yankee Hotel, and make the taxi back. Yeah, pretty straightforward. We'll get the weather up now here for the airport because we're approaching that descent point. We need to have it all programmed in by that point. So, we'll have full reverse thrusters on our landing today. So full reverse, and also what we'll do is I won't disable the reverse thrusters at the normal 60 knots because it's not necessarily. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Ooh. Because it's not necessarily. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. I won't disable at 60 because it's not necessarily safe to. Normally they do 60 because that seems on a dry runway, 60 knots, the brakes can take over from the rest of it down. What we do in the icy conditions, which will be in because it's -2 degrees at Helsinki, so there will be ice there. The scenery does not have any ice, as good as it looks, there won't be any ice there. And that's just plainly because of the pay-wear scenery I've got, so that's why there won't be any ice. But, yeah, full reverse thrust, and we won't disable them till about 30 knots. If it looks like we're going to vacate slightly earlier, I will drop them out, because what I don't want to do is vacate the runway with them still enabled, because the taxiways are much narrower in the runway, so you can get grass getting sucked in there and stuff. So we'll leave them, so we'll retract them if we have to vacate. But if we're passing that Yankee Foxtrot, which is earlier, doing 60 still, we'll leave them on as late as possible to make sure that the aircraft won't run away from us in the slippery conditions of the ice, and that it will in fact stop. So that's important that we remember to leave them out. Getting to the RADNAV page, then we need to put in 109.1, and that is the ILS frequency for today, and the course is 144. That is our ILS information inputted to the aircraft. So as we said, send in normally, left 080 in case we go around and it'll climb to 2000. So we'll just remember to type in 2000, and once we hit the approach button, 2000 should be already in there because that's what we'll have put in for the descent, and that's what should still be there. If it's not, we'll dial in 2000 before we then take manual and land the aircraft, because we've got to make sure that go around altitude's in, because when you activate TOGA, in case of go around, the aircraft goes into go around mode on the FMS, go around stage, and as that go around is initiated, whatever altitude you have dialed in, the aircraft will begin climbing to. And the go around procedure, just to go over it sort of, so we've got to make sure we've got our safe briefing and everything. Go around procedure is, if it's early in the stage of flight, early in the stage of the approach, and we get a wind shear warning from the aircraft. If the aircraft says wind shear, we abort the landing no matter what. It's not bad weather, it's only 3 knots, so we don't expect to have to go around. But we have to discuss our options. So, as I said, if it's early in the go around, more than 2 miles, TOGA for sure. But we'll just pitch the nose up to just under 10 degrees, so anywhere between 5 and 10 degrees, and just allow it to climb gently up. If we have to do a go around at less than 2 miles, it's going to be TOGA just as before, so that activates the go around phase, but we will pitch up to 10 degrees and hold the nose there. In the Airbus A321, if you're over the runway and you go around and you pitch the nose up more than 10, you run the risk of having a tail strike. There is a sort of triangle that appears on the flight display to say, you know, where you watch out, you're about to have a tail strike. Don't go above this triangle. But in a go around, it's quite tempting to, I do it sometimes, keep pulling the nose up in that go around. But 10 degrees and hold it there. And that's what the Airbus pilots really do in real life in their go around procedures. Pitch the nose at 10 degrees, hold it at 10 degrees. And allow the thrust and speed build up just to allow to cause the aircraft to climb. Oh, we've got to serve duty free. Get that going now.
Hyvät matkustajat, olen Purseri Jarmo.
This is
Aloitamme juomatarjoilun. Tästä vaunusta voitte ostaa viiniä, olutta sekä virvokkeita, myös puoluviiniä ja väkeviä alkoholijuomia. Olemme pahoillamme, mikäli vaihtoehdot loppuvat kesken. Tällä lennolla teillä on myös mahdollisuus tehdä edullisia verovapaita ostoksia.
But using this system you can get announcements from any airline
sekä välipalahinnasta on esitelty In-Flight Shopping-lehdessä. Mutta nyt koko tiimin puolesta toivotan teille oikein viihtyisää lentomatkaa. Teemme parhaamme, jotta matkanne olisi oikein viihtyisä. Bästa passagerare, jag är Pursar Jarmo Mänteri. Vi börjar servera drycker från drinkvagnen. Kan ni beställa vin, öl och läskdrycker. Ni kan också köpa vin och starka alkoholdrycker. Vi beklagar om detta
bizarre language. It is a bit, isn't it?
Ni har också möjlighet att köpa skattefria
certainly is a bit, I agree.
Och snacks är presenterade i In-Flight Shopping-tidningen. Vi slår gärna till en tjänst om ni har något.
Still don't know where it comes from. Wow.
Vi gör vårt bästa så att ni ska trivas ombord. Ladies
I mean, it is really random. I
my
don't
name is
disagree.
Jarmo Mänteri, and I'm the purser on this flight. We will start serving your beverages. You may buy
It is a generic one actually.
beer,
On
and
our
soft drinks.
Finnair flight today, we don't have a purser.
You
Oh, sorry, we do have a
the
purser.
possibility to do duty-free shopping during this flight. Our
Duty-free
sales
shopping? I
articles
suppose we do.
and snacks are presented in an in-flight shopping catalog. Please don't
Very hard to learn.
hesitate
Yeah, I
to
imagine
ask
so.
the cabin crew if you need any assistance. We are doing our best to make your journey as a pleasant one. The whole team wish you a very pleasant flight with us.
It is impressive though how he speaks in Finnish, that guy, the purser, as the cabin announcement, and then suddenly, once he's finished speaking in Finnish, just speaks in English. I think it's pretty cool that. Beautiful. Lovely day. Lovely day. It's a lovely day. Approaching to percent, 80 miles to go, so we've got a fair bit of time. I mean, what waypoint is it on? It's on Gosford. We're due to arrive Gosford in 10:07, so 9 minutes. 10 minutes or so, just call it 10 minutes. We'll be descending. Zoom in. I like to zoom in on my display as the top of the descent approaches. Zoom it right in so I know exactly the point to click it, and then zoom back out for the descent. Before descent, we need to have the auto brake selected for the landing today, which will be low, as it may be icy, but we don't need to stop too quickly. Pretty big runway. That's fine. Auto brake low. TCAS needs to be set to the below position. We can set that now, so that we're looking out below us for any traffic below, so that as we just start our descent, we can see what's below us. Again, pretty simple. The weather radar, 5 degrees below. Weather plus terrain. As it's a calm day today, we'll turn up the gain. But as I said, on the Toliss, I've never seen any weather. I don't know why. I just never have. It's pretty sad. Yeah. That's all good then. We can set the. We won't set the low auto brake yet because it sort of puts the aircraft into a. Into sort of a descent phase yet, which we're not actually in. So we won't set that up. Yeah. We'll leave it. There it is. So, yeah. So I'm actually googling now, like why you have weather on this with active sky, heavy turbulence even. Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna look. Let's have a look. Huh. Yeah, so it doesn't work for me. I think I need to use active sky, don't I? I think that must be what I have to use. Because with default, it doesn't seem to work. The thing is, active sky is quite expensive. How much is it? Oh, 29. Oh, that's not that bad. Is active sky worth it? You reckon? Do you think active sky is worth it? Casey, if you've got it, do you reckon it's worth it? Lots of lakes down here where we are now. Much further south, like we're right in the main bit of the country, but there's still loads of lakes. I guess what we're looking at is what's down to our left. Huh. No. I can't see them on the map. I don't know what we're looking at. It's off to our left, isn't it? So, I don't know what we're looking at there. There's definitely some lakes. And then off to our right, of course, we've got the... pretty flat. Look, I think it's normally frozen over with ice. I think that's why I don't show. Worth it without a single doubt, right? Okay, brilliant. Well, I'll look at that then. Hopefully that should help. Should help my problem. Yeah, but this is quite a short stream because we'll begin descending in a bit and we'll land pretty quickly. We won't be making the return journey. I just wanted to do a quick stream. Following the sort of Thompson stream in the 7.5, I thought it'd be good to do a normal stream that works well. And then after that, we will see. I think A350 would be good fun, but then Concorde's been a while, so potentially take Concorde from Heathrow to JFK. Or maybe JFK to Heathrow. Or down somewhere really fun. We left it in the Bahamas last time, so maybe we need to bring it back from there. I don't know. But you guys seem to love the Concorde stream, so we'll try and do that one again. Right, so before descent then, low auto rake. TCAS is set to the below position. Weather radar is set to the below with the tilt on. I think partly the reason it's not working maybe is because I fly places where there isn't much weather. Like, that could just be it. Like, yeah. Yeah, auto rake set. Landing lights don't need to be on. Seatbelt signs don't need to be on. We'll switch them on at 14,000 feet. That seems to be the Finnair policy from everything I've been sort of reviewing. Everything it seems to be about 14,000 feet. Is that our waypoint there? What's that waypoint there? Lucep, and that's where we begin our arrival. Good. It's quite cool. This airway that we're on, the Southern Airway, ends at Lucep, which is where the arrival begins. Yes, from Bahamas back home. Yeah, I think that'd be a nice flight. The Queen. We can call it the Queen's voyage because that's she took that flight back from the Bahamas actually. That's how they returned from their sort of royal visit. Flew back on Concorde, which I think is a pretty cool way to come home. Wouldn't mind that. They went out there on the royal yacht and then flew back on Concorde, and that's how they got the shot with Concorde and the royal yacht. Because they went over it as they left. I think. I'm pretty sure that's where they got it from. As I said, zooming in the radar so I can see top of descent. Final altitude for today then is 2,000. Yep, 2,000 feet, so we'll dial that in there. 2,000 set. Hopefully the drinks and stuff have sort of finished being served. So make our way into the descent phase. Huh, okay, cool. It's amazing that pretty high, and so actually this orange bar is indicating that you're low speed, potentially near a stall, and yet we're doing 0.779, 470 knots. I like that. As you go even higher in the A321, it gets worse, and you get closer and closer and closer to stalling, barely on the edge of stalling. It's amazing, really amazing. Okay, there's Gosfar, zoom in one more. Ready to click the manage descent button and we'll go down. Not getting the Beluga. Just seen someone in the thing. In France, there was always a Concorde on standby 24/7 in case the president needed to leave in an emergency, like a nuclear strike incoming. Oh wow, yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. They definitely utilised it more. The Air France utilised its sort of coolness a bit more than BA was all about the press and look at this fancy aircraft we got. But then, and they took the royals and things. But like, I like how like the president would fly on Concorde. I'm not sure our Prime Minister's really flew on Concorde much, but that's super cool that they had one on standby for him to use and get out fast. That's mega. Now that, I believe down there, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so that is Rovemny, I think. Yes, I think that's Rovemny. Yes, yeah, that's Rovemny. Pretty sure. Let's have a look. Come on, loading. Oh, just right off. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. We'll leave it at that. Right, that's that. Well, no, okay. A long way to go to our descent. You can see on the actual map we are approaching it pretty quick though. But, bit to go. But down we are then. We're over the top, making our way down. 340 and continuing down. Cool. On the ground, yes, on the ground power, 2 pilots and an engineer, 24/7. I mean, QRA-wise, RAF, the RAF and lots of air forces do that 24/7, but for a civilian airliner, Air France Concorde, to be fueled up, sat with pilots and an engineer in the flight deck 24/7, that's pretty crazy. It's a very good idea though, because of course you can get out super quick with it. Very good idea. Huh. That's pretty cool. So down we go then. I'm having a look on Simaware, which is basically Vatsim for any of you who don't know. But we like Simaware. I like Simaware a lot. Anyway, having a look at sort of their Helsinki traffic-wise, we won't be having any ATC on our arrival. There's an Airbus A340 inbound, and he'll be landing at sort of the same time as we are. There's an Airbus A320 just landed. Now, he actually landed, interestingly, at a different runway to us. What are the winds looking like? Oh, 220. Well, that's right, actually. Maybe we should change our arrival, because 220, that'd be annoying to change it though. The 220 really should land 22 left then. Might be a change of runway there. I have to land 22 left. We're into 22 at 3. Yeah, we'll land 22 left rather than 15. Although, what are they at? They're at 3 knots. I don't think. Why not change it? It's a pretty simple thing to do. See the sort of difference it'll make. 22 left. Just any loose for alpha arrival then. No vires. Insert. So the exact same, except then we're just gonna, runway ILS mismatch. I'm sure they do. Just got to delete the manual. Yeah, insert that. Quickly switch that one across. Right, there we go. Le Bourgeois Airport. Oh, that's in centre. I'm sure that was awful pronunciation on my part. That's near Paris, and it's just not the bigger one. That's a good choice of airport to have it at. Right, let's lock 22 left. 110.3. 218. Brilliant. This will also enable us to vacate right next to our stand, which is super cool. We are going to have to change the decision height today. That's the ILS 349. Slightly lower. And then we're also going to have to change our arrival selected one. So get rid of that one and that one. And change arrival is the Lucet for Alpha. Okay, so exactly the same principles. There we are. We're still a while away, so we still have plenty of time to change it all. Well, we are descending pretty quickly. Anyway, so then there we just go to Kukaka. We go down south and then back in 22 left. That's the actual runway I landed on. That's why I think we'll change, because it'd be nice to land on that. I always like to recreate the stuff I did. That's pretty cool. So the sort of right and left turn. I remember when we landed at Helsinki, we obviously, it was a bit busy that day, and we were not holding but doing all this turning and stuff around at 3,000 feet. So they do actually are at Kukaka. They are 3,000 there. They're low at this point, because at Kukaka we're looking at being 5,200 and Bifix 3,000. So we are going to be low at this point, which is exactly how it was. Sort of tiptoeing around quite low down, not established on the ILS, stuff like that. So pretty realistic. And we won't be taking 22 right, because otherwise, once you land 22 right, you have to vacate, and then you have to go across, and loads and annoying taxi overs. So we go 22 left. So basically, still low auto brake. Touchdown will be in between the crossover again. Vacate, we won't vacate Zulu Golf. We'll look to vacate Zulu Juliet or Zulu Hotel on one of the fast exits. That is just about halfway down the runway. So it'll take a bit of braking to do that, because let's say that's halfway. That's 1,750. 1,750 meters. So that's still a low auto brake. Medium auto brake actually. But with the reverse thrust, that should be low. We'll vacate Zulu Juliet. On Zulu Juliet, we vacate. From Zulu Juliet, we'll taxi. Still stand 3-4. We'll just go left on Alpha Hotel, Alpha Victor. Brilliant. Quite a unique destination to go and ski. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's pretty cool. Right, this should be interesting then. Landing at Helsinki. Now this is an unlucky seat, whoever sat here, because they've got the worst of both worlds. I always hate it when I get seats like this, because look, you're sat here, you've got the big bar in the way. You either look back over your shoulder and crane your neck to see a bit of wing, or you sort of look forward and just see like the sky. Bit annoying. I wouldn't be best pleased if I was that person. That's a shame. I mean, not a common winter holiday. No, it's not really, is it, Helsinki? It's more of a connecting hub, I think, because if you come here as a tourist, you could go to Helsinki, but you don't really do. You go up north, to Katelia, Rovaniemi, Tromsø, Ivalo, all these northern places, for, like, winter stuff, cross-country skiing and sort of, like, snow stuff. So it's Helsinki was properly set up for connecting flights was the thing you did there. So that's the main thing. There was only 2 flights that day going out of Ivalo. One at 11:50 in the morning, which is the one we departed on today, and one at 7 o'clock in the evening. You never take a window seat. Why not? Love window seats. It's the best part. Being able to feel like an excited traveller looking out the window. I love that. Love that. I wonder where he's going. Is he going 22 left? Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's not going in. Going in 22 left, just like we are. Might have to hold for him because we're bombing in. Helsinki traffic, Finnair 1337. We're descending through flight level 160 for 3000 for the ILS, runway 22 left on the Lucep for Alpha arrival. Helsinki traffic, Finnair 1337. Just make sure I have got that frequency tuned in. I've got the volume up. Just I haven't heard anything all day. All this time I was like, just make sure we have got that all going. Cool. You're afraid of heights? Ah. Ooh, okay. That probably makes things not so easy. Seatbelt signs on then. Get them in their seat. It takes a bit of time for everyone to get all settled in. Oh, what's that warning? I know. It takes everyone a bit of time to get them settled into their seats again after the sort of flight. So we'll turn it on now. With aims for them to be all in their seats by 10,000 feet. So we go down. Bit of haze there forming. Not ideal. It was clear skies higher. Hopefully it'll go back to being clear skies. Well, I don't know. Right, quick change then, because we changed onto the new arrival. 3,000 is the capture altitude, and it's 9 miles. We begin our descent at Tixed. Good, and that's when we begin to descend the final ILS glide slope descent. So we'll have lots of flaps out and things at that point. At 9 miles, we'll have flap 2 in, and we'll be slowing up for that arrival. We're due to arrive at 10:32. It's 10:20 now. Zulu time, of course. So it's actually 12:20 local time. So we're currently 20 minutes ahead of schedule. We've made quite a bit of time during the air travel and everything there. Temperature's -2. It's -2 on the ground. So we'll shove on our anti-ice. It'll tell you ice not detected, I assume. Oh no, it hasn't. Okay, that's good. I'm glad we turned them on then. Alright, ILS information goes on. Because we're descending straight through and not stopping anywhere, we can turn on 1027. That's the QNH. And the landing lights can go on. So see how it says ignition? That's because basically what turning on the engine anti-ice turns on this ignition start. So the cone anti-ice, we call it. So this little cone bit in the centre of the engine, there's anti-icing on that. So there's air being taken from the third stage of compression, for right back at where it's second stage of compression, sorry, where it's hot because it's been compressed, not been ignited, just compressed, so it's hot. And that's being blasted over the cone of the engine, so that's keeping that bit warm. The ignition means that there's a constant relight every now and then. So often this is turned on when going through cloud, they turn on the engine anti-ice. But also when it's cold, what can happen is the constant sort of burning of the fuel can sometimes just stop. It can stop combusting, and that's just because of the cold temperatures. So what you do is you turn on this engine anti-ice and the ignition stops constantly, it's constantly relighting the engines. So that just won't happen, because I'll just relight again. So it's a clever little process, which whoever came up with, clever idea. It's just constantly ticking over. We need a little bit of drag there to help slow up the speed, because it's showing me idle, and yet we're still doing 260. And we need to do it. Continuous ignition, which you need to turn on manually in a Boeing. Yeah. So in a Boeing aircraft, rather than setting the anti-ice on, rather than just turning on the anti-ice and it doing it all in one system, you have to do it individually, don't you? To turn on the anti-ice and the continuous ignition, which is, I imagine, a pain. Just because you just get lots of switches to flick. When going through cloud, say on departure. Yeah. Oh, for takeoff. Ah, interesting. It doesn't do that. I assume it's automatic in the Airbus. I know some people sort of leave the engines on ignition, start for departure. That is not what you're supposed to do. That can kill the engine, so don't do that. Okay. Part of the briefing, frames might drop on arrival, so we need to watch out for that, guys. I apologise if it happens, but yeah, frames might drop just slightly on that. Mandatory, wow, okay. Crazy. 2 left, go around procedures. Left 185. And clear the manual. So initially it's course 218. And left 185, and we'll go back on ourselves. In case of engine failures, yeah. Interesting that it's quite a different procedure. We don't do that in the Airbus. Right, this guy at 3,000. Look, he's 3,000 feet below us. So he's at 5? No, yeah, 5,000. So he's at 5,000. So he's holding 5,000. Problem is, I assume he's trying to land on runway 15. You can land either. Normally in this kind of conditions at Helsinki, they have sometimes both or one. You can normally land either. There's suddenly a lot of planes down here. We got 1, 2, because there's 2 Lufthansas landing. What's he doing? Diff Lufthansa, he's tracking south of the airport. I assume establishing also for 15. Guy from the west, he's trying to establish, but not from that area. Okay, this is interesting. Set TCAS to normal position. This is going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of planes trying to land at once. So when we land, we need to vacate that runway quickly, get off the runway, because someone might be landing the other direction, just because of the confusion that is sometimes, especially as they haven't said anything on Unicom. It doesn't make it easy. I've told them we're landing runway 15. Sorry, 22 left. So hopefully they say something. The winds are 210 at 2, so they're definitely favouring 22 left. Especially when they're quite minimum like this, you don't probably have to change. But we did, so that's fine. See, this is what I mean. So with Helsinki, you're tracking along quite low altitudes, making a left, then a right, then a left. Oh, lost frames there. Goodness me. Whoa. 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 God. Whole thing's crashing. Bloody hell. Goodness, guys. Hang on with me. Don't know what's going on. We just disconnect from Vatsim there. Crikey. Okay, that was bad. Bizarre. Sorry about that. That was really weird. Had like a full, like complete yeesh. I hope the stream's still running. Bizarre. I'd like to roll on. Okay, it's trying to slow up. We've got 23 miles, so I'm going to hold speed currently actually. We don't want to really slow up anywhere below this. Okay, so 5,500. .230. Speed 20 nautical miles, then slowing to 220 knots. The traffic 2,300 feet below us seems to be heading our way. Had to reload the stream. Yeah, sorry about that. That went really weird. Don't know what's going on. I've got a sort of little message telling me the stream status is poor. Apologies if it is poor. It shouldn't be. I don't quite know what's going on. Anyway, we'll turn up the sounds then for landing, shall we? Okay, right. . Okay, that's better. Right, what does that say? 18 miles. Okay. Oh, it's gone again. It's gone. Loading in the airport. I think it must be. It's really buggy though. We're going to disconnect from Vatsim again. This is mad. This is absolute madness. 8 frames. I mean, like, sure, but what? Oh my god. Goodness me. What the hell is going on? So now it's back up to 40 frames or so, but the Xplane doesn't recognize. But Vatsim, because it's quite slow, doesn't recognise that in time, so we get booted. It's bizarre. We'll deal with it another time. Okay. Sorry if you have to reload the stream. Hopefully you don't. Right. Okay. 16 miles, so slow, 200 knots. Weird that. 200 knots, flap 1. There go the slats being dropped. The nose will pitch up fairly high. No, it's good again. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That was weird. Right. Helsinki traffic Finnair 1337 is establishing on a 10-mile final from waypoint Bifix to land. Runway 22 left, Helsinki traffic Finnair 1337. Okay. Right, 12 nautical miles, so I'll slow 180 knots as we make the turn. This is the final turn onto the runway heading for today. Runway will be ahead of us. You'll see it clearly because that, as I was speaking about earlier, the patch of sort of non-snowy stuff. I think you're right, Casey, loading in the airport scenery. Yeah, you see the patch of non-snowy stuff. That's it. There's 2 to left. We've overshot that slightly. Have we? Yeah, we have a little bit. No worries, right. Flap 2 enabled. That will help the massive angle attack we suddenly had on there. Watch the nose drop, power increase. There we go, power increase, nose drop. That's what we're looking at. Right. And approach mode, please. Thank you. There goes approach mode. And we're capturing 9 miles to run. 10 miles finals, that's what I call on Unicom. It seems to be pretty perfect. The guy's tracking north of the airfield. It's sort of over here. There he is. That's him there. Look. You see him? Oh. There he is. He's landing. Oh. He's landing when we want 5. Right, okay. Fair enough. Just make sure no one else is doing that, because otherwise they'll cross right next to us. Over to our left, then we've got the Lufthansa. There he is. Airbus A340 is.
2,500.
Right, it's 8 miles slow up. So we go on the manual speed now, so we're activating the approach phase, making sure that is active. That is. Right, here we go then. Okay, so approach max, if the speed's backing off then. So we'll just drop out a little bit spoiled before arming them for landing. Just to assist in that slow up. But 6.5 miles will now arm them, because we don't want to balance the speed dropping, basically, if that makes sense.
2,000.
Right, 2,000, gear down. Gear selected down. Flap 3 as gear drop. Flap 3 selected. Gear go down. Gear down. 5 miles, cabin crew seats for landing, please. And the turn off lights and the taxi lights can go on. If you look ahead, we'll set flap full. There we go. Flap full.
Helsinki traffic, Lufthansa 321, this is establish runway 22 left.
It's establishing behind us. Yeah, there he is, established behind us. Good. Helsinki traffic, Finnair 1337 is now 4 mile finals to land runway 22 left. Ice not detected. Okay, fantastic. We'll turn off the anti-ice just before landing. Gives a little bit more power and a bit more to work with. Fantastic, we'll take manual control. Brilliant. Now, made a very bad landing yesterday on this, so hopefully we do a bit better today. That'd be nice.
1,000.
1,000. Okay. Perfect. Pitch it up. So I'm pitching up slightly here, and I'm not actually touching the trim because, unlike the 7.5, Airbus does it for me. One of the perks. It's quite nice. Okay. Landing inhibit. You can see that's popped up there, so it's happy we're ready for landing. Bit of spoiler deployment on top of the wings there. See, there goes the snow, because this is the sort of built-in scenery area. Hayware scenery. 500 feet. That's perfect. We're stable.
100 above.
100 above. Pitch up. Dropped below the glide slope slightly there.
400.
400 feet.
Minimum.
Continue. Whoa, bit right. Right, manual throttle, then I'm throttling back. Manual throttle.
200.
200 feet, that's fine. That's perfect. Drop the nose.
100.
100. Ooh, a bit
50.
steep.
40.
Idle throttle.
30. 20. Retard. 10. Drive.
4 reverses. Reverses deployed. Lowering the nose gently. Nose onto the ground. Perfect. Nicely down. Reverse thrusters are active. Low auto brake is selected. Aircraft is decelerating. Decel confirmed. This is Zulu Hotel. We're vacating the next one, Zulu Juliet. I won't... Well, we could go off this one actually. Yeah, no, we're here. We'll go off it. That's fine. Reverse thrusters deactivated then, and auto brake deactivated. 26 knots. Landing lights off. Strobe lights off. That's my rudder pedal squeaking there. We'll start up the... bit steep there. We'll start up the APU. Right, fantastic. We're here. With the tab, then we're going left to get to our stand. Brilliant. Well, I don't think that was too bad. I'm sure you're probably saying in the comments 254 is awful. And Finnair 1337 is clear. 22 left. Helsinki traffic taxiing back to stand 34. Brilliant. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not amazing, but not too bad. Flaps up. Enter the sort of concourse here. We've got that aircraft taxiing towards us there. So I'll watch out for him. But then we know where we're going, so we'll just pile in. APU start is selected. Starting. Idle throttle there. So quite quick. Oh, I hope he's not taking our stand. Nine knots in the turn, that's fine. Turn off lights can go off. Okay, stand 3-5, and here's stand 3-4. So 3-4. The second line here, and taxi lights off. Following the second yellow line around to get the nose wheel in the right place. Just like that. That is perfect. A little bit far.
Traffic Lufthansa 2301 is established LS runway 22 left.
Right, take it nice and slow to the stand, and if I get it right, the gate should connect. It doesn't always because I'm not the best at parking it. Left slightly. Straight. Brakes gently. Stop. Brilliant. Stopped. Right on the mark. Parking brake set. T-gas off. Off. 1. Ground service.
Traffic Lufthansa 3 kilometer, runway
Signs, beacon light 1 and 2 off. Engine number 2 off. Turn the weather radar 1 off. Has the Lufthansa just landed? I think he has, hasn't he? No. Yep, there he is. Wow. Vacate the same exit as us. No. Vacate the same exit. We went left, didn't we? Came even earlier than us. Anyway, the gate's connected. That's pretty cool. Nice scenery as well. Yeah, it's lovely scenery, isn't it? We'll have a quick look around there before we disconnect. We've got our APU running here. But, why don't we have a quick look around? Did I go to manual throttle? Why did you go for manual throttle? Oh, okay. So in the Airbus, what I do is, as you come for the approach on the runway, you back the throttle off to the current throttle usage by the engines, so that you're not working them too hard. So that you have sort of control, smooth takeover of control, so you're not suddenly got way more power on than you need to. So that's what you do there. Why did I take manual throttle? Well, what I did was throttle back and click off the auto throttle system. Most pilots do it over the threshold. I prefer to do it a little bit earlier so that I know I have control from the very start. The scenery is lovely though. I do personally think that this bit over here looks a bit better rendering quality and everything than the bit we're actually parked on. But because this is for international traffic, not international, but just like normal airlines, whereas this bit over here is all Finnair, so Finnair aircraft park right around here and around here. So that Lufthansa, he can park here, but this is the Finnair sort of area, so that's why I'm parked here. Right, well, should we disconnect and have a look at the replay? I think we should.
Lufthansa 3 kilometers, okay.
Disconnect from Vatsim. Lovely aircraft. I just want to look at that before we go for the replay. I think that is looking lovely. That was a very fun flight. I do like that flight. Definitely do it more. It's one of my favourites. Okay. We'll take us back. Okay, this is not bad. We'll have a look at it, shall we, from wing view first, so we don't see the full extent of the damage. Go to the left so you can see the terminal and everything go by. Alright, here we go. Not bad. There goes the throttle back. Oh, slight bounce, I think. I think it was a slight bounce. Glad I didn't wait. Actually, that next one would have been a fast exit, so glad we didn't wait for that. Not bad, and then we just taxied in as normal. I should have taken the flaps in slightly earlier, if we're being fully realistic, but that's fine. Okay, so pause it there. Try to get back slightly. Through over the snow. Let's have a look at tower view of this approach and landing. So, zoom in nicely on the aircraft. Shall we see this? Lovely flight. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I like that one. It's nice and short. Okay, here we go. Let's see this. Oh. Not bad flare. You always tell me to flare. I hate flaring because I think I'll always float. I don't like it. Not hate flaring, but I prefer to sort of just back off throttle gently. I thought that was pretty good, actually. Let's just roll it back and have a look at that touchdown. One more time, look at that touchdown. I think it was pretty good. Let's have a look at that. Not a float, it's not a bounce, just sort of half bounce. We hit it a bit hard. So you get that sort of like the wheels almost come back off the ground again. Not bad at all though. Not bad at all. We touched it. Where did we touch down? We touched down what? Where did we touch down? Where did we touch down? There. So we touched down, as I was saying, before the crossover. So that's where you should try and touch down really at this runway. There's the smokes. We touched down before. Reverse thrust is ready. There. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Spot on. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. That was a really fun sort of little evening. So I thank you all very much. Goodbye from me.